Canto 4, entitled as The Creation of the Fourth Order, and chapter number 7, The Sacrifices Performed by Daksha. So today we're going to read out from text number 33. Patnaya uchuhu yagnoyam tava yajnaya kena shrishto vidavashtaha pashupatanadya daksha kopat tam nastavam savasayana bashantamedham yagnatman nalina ruchadrisha punihi. Translation: the wives of the performers of the sacrifice said, "My dear Lord, this sacrifice was arranged under the instruction of Brahma. But unfortunately, Lord Shiva, being angry at Daksha, devastated the entire scene. And because of his anger, the animals meant for sacrifice are lying down. Therefore, the preparation of the yajna have been lost. Now, by the glance of your lotus eyes, the sanctity of this sacrificial arena may be again invoked." Purport: animals were offered in sacrifice in order to give them renewed life. That was the purpose of having animals there. Offering an animal in sacrifice and giving him renewed life was the evidence of the strength of chanting mantras. Unfortunately, when Daksha's sacrifice was devastated by Lord Shiva, some of the animals were killed. One was killed just to replace the head of Daksha. Their bodies were lying about, and the sacrificial arena was turned into a crematorium. Thus, the real purpose of the yajna was lost. Lord Vishnu, being the ultimate objective of such sacrificial ceremonies, was requested by the wives of the priest to glance over the yajna area with his causeless mercy so that the routine work of the yajna might be continued. The purport here is that animals should not be unnecessarily killed. They were used to prove the strength of the mantras and were to have been rejuvenated by the use of the mantras. They should not have been killed as they were by Lord Shiva to replace the head of Daksha with an animal's head. It was pleasing to see an animal sacrificed and rejuvenated. I'll say it again. It was pleasing to see an animal sacrificed and rejuvenated, and that pleasing atmosphere had been lost. The wives of the priests requested that the animals be brought back to life by the glance of Lord Vishnu to make a pleasing yajna. Okay. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakya Chakshunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swaha Padantikam. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vindavaneshwari Vishwabhanu Sutta Devi Paramamami Hari Priye Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nityanamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashati Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Shri Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pishtaya Bhutale Srimate Kadam Kanan Swami Nityanamine. Okay, dear devotees, so we are continuing this chapter. This is one of the longest chapter in Srimad Bhagavatam. It could be maybe 66 shlokas are there. So today's verse is 33. As we all know, we are reading this pastime not just for many days. It's been going on for many months. And we all know the stories that how these things happen. And when Lord Vishnu came, so everybody is start glorifying him and apologizing him, and they are putting their prayers and their appeal. How do we rectify this whole situation? that because the yagna was performed under the direction of Lord Brahma, he ordered Daksha Prajapati, please kindly do so. But due to some misunderstanding, being under the grip of illusory energy, this all thing happened. People became puffed up from both sides, and they start doing cursing, counter cursings. So now everything is sorting down, and all the great personalities such as Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, Bhriguji, Indraji, everybody is glorifying the Lord because he's present over there. And now in today's words, it is the turn of the wives of the performers of the sacrifices, you know. And most important things here to be learned, that she is saying that these animals which were killed by the party of Lord Shiva, as you can see in any sacrifice or in any worship, because this sacrifice is meant to be pleased to Lord Vishnu, because it's been said in 3.9 Yagno, um, Yagyapati, he's been called Yagyapati, that all the sacrifices has to be performed for the pleasure of the Lord. And it's not just only the sacrifice what we do here, even though anything, if we are doing a marriage ceremony, if we are doing welcoming house, or if anything happens, the first ahuti, the first obligation has to be given to Lord Vishnu or Lord Krishna. And then after that, as per the status of other demigods, we give it to them others. But unfortunately, this whole sacrifice has been contaminated by the blood of brahmanas, by the blood of other parties, by the blood of animals also. So as soon as there is a contamination, then whole things get spoiled. So here, as we can see, the wives, because they all are doing their prayers according to the level of their surrender to the Lord, or according to the realization what they are going through. So now in today's shloka, so they are saying, my dear Lord, kindly glance upon this whole arena and kindly glance upon the dead bodies, either for the animals or for the humans, and bring them back to the light, and kindly sanctify the whole area, so we can continue the whole sacrifices for the pleasure of yourself. Because the whole purpose was completely devastated. As you can see in the purport, Srila Prabhupada writes that one of the animal, not one of the animal, there were many animals, but one of the animal was killed unnecessarily, just cause of what? Just to get the head of that animal, that was a goat, and put that goat head on the body of Daksha. So that's how the Daksha got the goat head. Yeah, but one thing to be noted here, why this animal sacrifices being done in the Vedic scriptures. Before, there were only one purpose to do it, and the purpose was that to check the mantras. When the brahmanas, when they were allowed, because by nature brahmanas are non-violence. Some may can ask, but okay, the brahmanas are non-violent, so how come they are doing the animal sacrifices which is full of blood? It looks very, very, very awful, it looks very heinous. But that's not the case, because every single activity, it's been mentioned in the Vedic scripture, has only one purpose to fulfill. There is a very strong reason behind it, and the reason was that to check the mantra, or to check the brahmanas, that how powerful they are to give us the result of the sacrifices. In previous bygone ages, especially in Satya Yuga and Treta Yuga, we have seen when the brahmanas were so pure in their practice, that by their mercy, the general public, they used to take the darshan of the demigods and of the Lord. If you can see Srimad Bhagavata, if you read that when there is a king, because according to the status of their varnashram systems, so only the brahmanas, they were allowed to do the sacrifice, and they were the only allowed to teach the Vedic scriptures. So they were so pure in their practice, either externally or internally, that kings used to hire them to perform Ashwamedha Yagya, and many other yagyas, So in that yagya, they invite the whole world to come and take participate. And when they come and they participate by their Brahminical strength, all the demigods they used to appear on the earthly planet, and they used to take their share and go back and blesses the whole entire performers, whether they are brahmanas or I mean whoever is partaking into that sacrificial time. Everybody they used to bless that Indra, Chandra, Vayu, fire, Agni, everybody, even the Lord. I mean, the general publics they have no access to the to take the darshan of the Lord or the demigods, but by their Brahminical strength, they were allowed to take the darshan. So that's how they were so pure. And there was only one purpose when they used to do this type of animal sacrifices. It has many purposes to fill. The first was to check how the brahmanas are doing their mantra. Is it going to work? Because it is just the initial stage. Because when they used to kill means sometimes they used to use sword, or sometimes they used to chant the mantra in the ears of the animal, or if it's one animal it's one, if it's many many. And when they chant the mantra and that animal leaves the body, they don't even use any weapon to cut the animal, because that's how they check how powerful that brahmanas are. Only by mantra they can kill anybody. We can see in the case of King Vena. Okay, King Vena was so cruel as a king, he started claiming himself that he's a god, and he'd start punishing or harassing the people who appointed him as a king, such as like sages and many other brahmanas. So he was showing, I am the king, I am the representative of the all the demigods, so I am a god, so you should worship me. And by saying that he is crossing his limit, the brahmanas only just chanted the mantra, and that King Vena, he turned into ashes. They don't even need to raise the weapon. That's how powerful they were. So here in that case also, they used to chant the mantra in the ears of an animal, and animal leaves the body. And as soon as it leaves the body, they give him the opportunity to turn into the body of a human, because human body is the topmost body among all other species, where you get the chance to go back to godhead or realization for the self-realization. So according to some karma, if that animal has to go through many more life or billions of more life, if he has to go to before coming into the body of a human, but by the blessings of the brahmana, they surpasses all the karma, all the bodies, and they immediately get into the body of the human, and that's where they perform the sacrifices where they can please the Lord. So that was the whole purpose. But as per the time is going, and as per the Kali Yuga is there, the people started using Vedic scripture and start killing animal only for one purpose: to satisfy their tongue, to satisfy their belly. So for that reason, Brahma Vaivarta Purana, which Srila Prabhupada quotes many times, and it's in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, and even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, says many times that in this Kali Yuga, Ashwamedham Gavalambham Sannyasam Pala Pitrikam Devarena Sutotpatim Kalau Pancha Vivarjita. So Kalau Pancha means in Kali Yuga Pancha, there are 5 activities. Vivarjit means prohibited. So there, what are those 5 activities? Ashwa means horse sacrifices. It's not allowed. Gava means cow. Cow sacrifice is also not allowed here. And then acceptance of the order of sannyasa, it's also not allowed. And somebody can say, Prabhuji, but in our ISKCON and many other, if we can see, the people are taking sannyasas. So what kind of sannyasa? The sannyasas for your own sense gratification, means sannyasa for your own thing. That I want to get away from the family life, I just want to get away from the duties, for that purpose. But sannyasa, if you take for the preaching, for spreading the message of the Lord, it is allowed for that. But if you take for your own sake, because just to stay away from the household life and many other duties, so that sannyasa is not. But for the preaching, yes, you can take. Even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took, and all his followers, they all took. So we need to understand from the context, which context this information has been said here. And then offering the oblation of a flesh to the forefather. This fourth one, this is not allowed. And the fifth one is that begetting the children in one's own brother's wife, because in early ages, if there are two, three brothers are there, and if one brother is not capable to give children to his wife, and by the rules of the Vedic scriptures, they ask the other brothers, because they need to continue the lineage, the heritage, okay, the blood, it has to go on, because one higher has to be there where he can be a ruler, he can rule the kingdom. But now these four, five things are not allowed, and one of them is animal sacrifices, which we have seen. Because in Kali Yuga, Brahmanas are not pure, completely not pure. Kalau Sudra Sambhava. So in Kali Yuga, everybody is Sudra. Even say Prabhupada writes, and sometime he has said in his lecture that the demons in previous Yuga, whether it's Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, and Dwapar Yuga, it's been said that they will take birth in Kali Yuga as a so-called Brahmanas family, and they will spoil the Sanatan Dharma. And we can see those people who are taking, first of all, people don't even know what the Brahmanas are. The first time is Garbhadhana Samskara. People don't even know how to perform that one. I know when I was growing up, then some of so-called Brahmanas in my friend circle, like Sharmas, Bhardwaj, and everybody. I mean, when I was young, I don't even know who they are, but they start always claim we are Brahmanas, we are Brahmanas, and we are Brahmana. But I have seen their practice. They were eating meat and they were drinking, and the next morning they say themselves, "I'm a Brahmana." I mean, eating meat and drinking. This is a duty of a demon and rakshasas. A fourth class person or a fifth class person. Brahmanas never even touch and see those things. So where is the question of start calling yourself Brahmana? Sapo, Damo, Tapas, Socham, Shanti, Arjavan, Astikyam. These are the 8, 9 qualities of a Brahmana. They are not even living. Truthfulness, peacefulness, tolerance. These are the important qualities of a Brahmana. Brahmana knows, you know, uh, how to read the scripture. They know the conclusions, and they help other to understand it. So these are the important duties of the Brahmanas. But nowadays no one knows, hardly. Everybody is just searching for their own sense of gratification. Okay, I'm coming, I'm doing some nonsense here, I need some dakshina, what, so I can go and just buy something for my family and for myself. No, they were not greedy. Brahmanas was completely tolerant, and they were so happy whatever they get, they are happy with their donation. They never ask, I need that much. But now we can see here, this animal sacrifices in this particular shloka has this purpose to fulfill. But due to Daksha's his action, this whole thing was spoiled. So we need to understand what are the duties, so what can be done. Okay, animal sacrifices are not there in the Kali Yuga, these things are not there, that thing are there. So what is there? The only thing is there, just to chant the holy name of the Lord, because the Harinam is the only thing in this Kali Yuga which can sanctify everything. Like Srila Prabhupada times, we can see that how Srila Prabhupada has introduced the Kirtana, because the holy name is the only thing which can complete the whole sacrifices. Okay, even the Shukracharya, he has sent in Canto 8, when there is a case of Vamna Dev. So Lord got him into the side and asked him, Ki, Shukracharya, you are such a knowledgeable person, then how can you say to your disciple Bali Maharaj not to offer anything to Lord Vishnu? And then he realized his mistake, and he offers one of the prayer, that's Tantrascha Mantrascha Chidram Desh Kala Araha Vastutaha Sarvam Karoti Nishchidram Anu Sankirtanam Tava. Means that there will be always a discrepancy coming on time, starting or getting the ingredients for the pleasure of the Lord, or doing the paraphernalia, or doing the sacrifices, or chanting even the ritual mantras, because people are not even used to how to chant the Sanskrit shlokas. So there will be always a discrepancy performing your yagya. So, but as soon as the holy name start, Anu Sankirtanam Tava, as soon as the holy name starts, the holy name fulfills or completes whatever is lacking during the sacrifices. Okay, we can see in our ISKCON society that whenever we do any kind of a sacrifice for the pleasure of the Lord, whether it's a deity worship or whether any kind of a yagya or anything happen, along with that mantra recitation, kirtan also goes, because we don't know, because there will be always a discrepancy while chanting the mantras also. And these mantras are so powerful, they has to be chanted in proper accurate meter, accurate sound and accurate time, but we are not trained up because there is no teacher to train up, or we are not eager to learn all those things. So there will be always a problem. So that's why Srila Prabhupada, if you see during Prabhupada's time, when he was installing the deities in Vrindavan temple, he invited the local brahmanas and many other from outside, and they were doing their big sound recitation of the shlokas and everything. But along the side, Srila Prabhupada asked his disciple, make sure your Sankirtan, should go on. Because Sankirtan is the only way where you can install the deities in this Kali Yuga. Otherwise, there is no other process over here. Everything is just going, wherever it's going on. But that's not the way. So that's why we need to follow the acharyas, what the acharyas had set up the example here. I mean, nowadays, where is that Brahmana who can, by chanting the mantras, he can lit up the fire? In the early days, there was no matches, matchbox, no lighter, no anything. The Brahmanas were so pure, only just by chanting the mantra, they just ignite the fight in the fire sacrificial arena. But those qualities are gone. Even you cannot curse even. I mean, the Brahmanas are not so pure nowadays, so they can curse. It says in Kali Yuga, curse will not work because people are not pure in their practice. Externally, they are showing what they are, but internally, under the carpet, they are doing all sort of sinful activities. Dressing themselves as a big stalwarts, Vaishnava devotees, just trying to cheat others. But internally, their practice are not matching. It says you need to walk with your talk. Whatever you are telling or preaching to the people in general, make sure you yourself practice. But when we practice separately, or when we are alone at home, that's where the real austerity starts, because there is no one watching you. Only Krishna is watching you, Guru is watching you. When you do for the pleasure of the Lord, that's where we can see that so many changes are happening in our consciousness, in our life, in our practice, in our goal. Otherwise, we can see, externally we can buy a silk dhoti cloth, we are doing management like other people outside doing. No, we need to check ourselves, how my consciousness, am I exactly doing the way the Guru Shatu as Shastra has said, or I'm just doing what I want to do. Externally, I'm showing I'm such a big people, I'm shedding my tears in public, I'm just doing so many seva just to show the public. But actually, it is doing for my own pleasure, or am I doing for the pleasure of the Lord? So we need to check ourselves. There will be nobody who is going to give us the certificate, Prabhuji, Mataji, you are a great Vaishnava or a Vaishnavi. People are there to flatter us. People are there to. I was just reading, 2 days back in Canto 11. It is one of the very beautiful shloka. It says, when a demigod sees any devotee or any jiva who is sincerely practicing the bhakti and is trying to go back to Godheart, they send the flattering disciples or flattering followers. When they come in their life and they start following us, and they use so many flatter. Oh, Prabhu, by your blessing, you have come from Goloka Vrindavan to help us, just to take us back. They flatter so much, and by that so much, false flattering, we also come into the grip, and we start thinking, yes, you are right, I am that person who has come from Goloka Vrindavan, and we start losing our practice, and that's how we fall into the ditch of Maya back again. So we need to be very, very mindful. If people are saying, it's okay, we need to practice. If people are not saying, even it's much better, because all our practice, whether we are chanting the holy name, doing kirtan, reading books, doing any service, we are only doing for the pleasure of Radha Shyam Sundar. We are not doing for the pleasure of anybody else, because they are the only one who are going to impress by our practice, not anybody else, because they are the only one who's gonna take us back to God, and not anybody else. Okay, just 4 minutes to go. I would like to stop here and see if anybody has any questions or any input to give. So I would like to answer them.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you so much.
Right.
Very nice class. Very informative, Prabhuji. It's very important to know how to how to have etiquettes in our parampara. Beautiful class. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai Mata.
Prabhuji, when they do mantra and they kill the animal dies, then how they find out that animal got a better life?
Because state mein Mataji, they get the human birth. State
But,
mein they get the human birth on in front of them.
oh, in front of them, human comes up.
Yeah, yeah. They get the human.
Oh, wow.
They get the human because we are not used to, we are not trained to see all these things. It looks to us this is all fair and tale story, but no, it's not fair and tale story.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, because that was the mantra, means that the Brahmanas are pure if they can give a life to an animal, so that means they can give the result of doing the sacrifice also. So this is the initial stage to check whether the Brahmanas are good or not. If they are not getting back to the life, then that means that they are not poor, so they need to change to the new one, I mean the other one. Brahmanas. So yeah.
Thank you, Prabhuji. That's amazing.
Yeah, if you see,
our intellect don't accept this right now.
no, because this is our Mataji problem, because we are not used to all this knowledge. What we have heard from the newspaper, college and school, like that, Bollywood movies, Hollywood, that's all we know. But this is called a spiritual science. If you see Shukracharya, he has a Mrityu Sanjeevani mantra. He used to bring back human life, but to speak about the animal life. All the demons, when those were killed during the fight between the demigods and the demons, he was so powerful, he just brought them back to the life. And the Shukracharya, he's just a jiva, just a human, but he's empowered with all the siddhis. If he can do, then why not the pure Brahmanas can do?
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Anything else? Anybody would like to give any input?
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
This one example we have is Drishtadimna got birth from fire sacrifice.
Yeah, both brothers and sisters. Both brothers and sisters. Yeah. Draupadi.
Yeah.
Draupadi and Drishtadimna, yes.
Hey. We'd like to wish everybody a safe and Krishna conscious day ahead. We'd like to offer our prayers to Supreme Lord by chanting Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Hare
Rama,
Rama, Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare.
Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare.
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Rama
Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare.
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
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 Hare.
Hare.
Krishna, Hare Chino Singha, Jaina Singha, Jai Singha, Praladesha, Jaya Padma Mukha Padma Bringam, Ugravidam,
Ugraviram
Jayam
Mahavishnu Padam
Sarvatomukam,
Sarvatomukam Narsingham
Narsingham
Krishna
Vishnu Gadam
Nitya
Nityam Namami नरसिंह भगवान की जय,
Jai
Jai.
महाराज
Ki
की
Ki
Jai.
Jai.
जय. Let's offer our humble obeisances to all the assembled Vaishnavas. Vanchakalpatarubhasya kripa
Yanchakalpatarubhasya
sindhubhya evacha.
Krupasindhavavecha Patitanam
पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो
Vaishnavebhyo Namo
नमः.
Namah.
वैष्णविंद की जय.
Jai
ग्रंथ श्रीमद् भागवतम की
Ki Jai.
प्रभुपाद की जय.
Jai
गौर प्रेमानंदे
Hari
Hare
Hari Hari Bo.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Hari Bol, Hare Krishna.